Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your continued support. William Ruto's obsession to deal with these critics has landed him in problems. This time round, he's gotten into a case that pits him against a young man, a Gen Z, a university student. And the director of public prosecution, Renson Igonga, has allowed himself to be misused by the executive. The Law Society of Kenya has gone to court to defend this young man who is being accused of publishing false information about the death of William Samoei Ruto. And they have decided that they are not going to massage anyone. They are inviting William Samoei Ruto to come stand on the dock so that he can be cross-examined by the lawyers of this student. I want us to watch a video here, but before that, let me give you a foundation of what is happening. Now, the foundation is a university student charged with killing Ruto wants the president ordered to appear in court. And very fast, this is what is said, that a university student has urged a court to summon President William Ruto to testify in a case in which he has been charged with publishing false information about the death of the head of state. David Ooga Mokaya, a fourth-year student at Moi University, has urged the Milimani Law Court magistrate Ben Mark Ikubi to direct the director of public prosecution, Renson Igonga, to supply him with witness statements, including that of the complainant. Now, Mokaya is charged with computer misuse and publishing false information on X about the military in a ceremonial uniform, leading a funeral procession with a casket draped with the Kenyan flag, allegedly containing the president's remains, leaving funeral home. Now, the Law Society of Kenya is being represented there by a lawyer called Mutiso, and of course, the one and only Danstan Umari. And Danstan Umari is saying that they want the president to be compelled to come and say whether he's still alive or he was the one whose remains were in that casket. And it is going to be messy because the president and the state is becoming petty. Let us listen to Danstan Umari.
This young man needs not to be before you, and that's why we are writing to the DPP. Number two, the Law Society of Kenya has been representing this young man has asked whether the president, His Excellency, will take the dock to prove whether he is alive and he is not the one who was in that casket. That will be a national embarrassment. Because we shall be demanding that he comes to testify whether he was or he was not. Your Honor, for the benefit of the DPP, this is the third matter I've handled of a similar nature. The first one, where the voice of His Excellency, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, somebody mimicked his voice and they managed to swindle a prince in Dubai a lot of money. We demanded the president to come and the state had to withdraw that matter. The second one was the same President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga walking at night during COVID time. And we demanded they come to court, the state withdrew that matter. Based on those two, I urge the state to listen to me very clearly that this is a matter to be terminated. And that is why they cannot provide statements. A mere X post of a coffin It's not what the state should be concerned about with these young people, the Gen Z people. It should be concerned about other. Your Honor, it is my humble prayer that you give us time. We approach the good office of the Director of Public Prosecution to review and withdraw these charges. It does not harm anybody. Lastly, Your Honor, also to bring to the attention of my good prosecutor is another charge we saw on social media, somebody being charged that he had shouted, "Ruto must go." And the court declined that charge and said, there is no charge, criminal charge sheet to that effect. Your Honor, it is my humble prayer. I've addressed you, but I've addressed my good sister there to tell their bosses, let Kenyans enjoy their freedom of creativity and talking. Let the office of the Director of Public Prosecution stand firm and stop the DCI from embarrassing the office of the Director of Public Prosecution. May the court grant the orders the Law Society of Kenya has asked.
There are very many divided opinions about this. Some people are saying that this is wrong, but others are saying that the president must allow people to criticize him as a leader. I remember during Moi times, we even had ridiculous where they used to mimic Moi. They used to have caricatures of Moi, Kibaki the same, even though I understand Moi was a real dictator. But ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto must have his priorities well. He's got bigger fishes to fry than looking at students who criticize him. I don't know, can someone help? Do we still have that law? I used to hear that it was a crime to imagine or to dream that the president is dead. I understand that if any state official would hear you or you're overheard saying that you dreamt that the president is dead, that will be the end of you. You will be charged for treason. And the reason why this is very serious, if you ask me, is this. Yesterday, Mwangi Kiunjuri was telling the Kikuyu nation that they need to worship William Ruto for them to receive development projects. Then about 2 days ago, Junet was telling William Samoei Ruto that he should ignore Kenyans who are criticizing Adani deal and he should go ahead and invite Adani to continue the expansion of our airport and continue with the involvement in the SHA and our energy sector. Then Joho tells us that they will come for Kenyans who criticize Ruto and Raila in social media. In other words, we have two dictators together. The UDA dictatorship combines with the ODM dictatorship, and they've now formed a formidable force. Some people still think that we are in the Nyayo era, or that is where they want to take us. Because William Ruto simply does not want any criticism or any opposition. I have a feeling that these people might even attempt to ban the use of social media. Because the kind of battle that is going on, how do you take your precious time to charge a student who apparently made some dramatic, video or information that they are military who are burying, the president? I mean, this is not their priority. And Renson Igonga has allowed that institution to get deeper into the pockets of the executive. I remember the church was saying that all the branches of the government, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary, together with all the independent commissions, are corrupt. Instead of defending Kenyans or performing their duties diligently in accordance with the law, they now dance to the tune of the executive. and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is on the spot. There are corruption cases that they need to prosecute. Yet what we hear is that they want to withdraw. The other day there was a tug of war between the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and the EACC, because Ransom Ligonga wanted to withdraw some cases to people who are friendly to the government. But the question that we need to ask is this: why is the president being criticized? And why is he afraid of that criticism? As a president, he's supposed to be the father of the nation, but the church is rebelling. Youths, anytime they gather around, they sing Ruto must go, mwizi. The church is calling him to his face that he's a liar. Ruto is facing criticism because he has lost credibility and integrity and the faith that Kenyans had in him. You can prosecute as many as you want, but how many will you prosecute? Because today, each and every person is criticizing William Samoei Ruto. That is the freedom that we have been given. Why can't Ruto do things right so that he does not get involved in such petty matters of prosecuting young people criticizing? And this is going to be very embarrassing for him, because the lawyers have insisted, both Mutiso and Omari are saying that William Ruto must come and get to the witness dock so that he be cross-examined. And I think he's going to be asked, how did you, because Omari is saying he's going to be asked, were you the one whose remains were in the casket, or you are still alive? And if you are still alive, what bothers you? Then William Ruto might tell us why he feels that people should not criticize him, why he thinks he should be insulated from being criticized. There are better things that the state can get involved in than now following people. If you, let me ask you, if he wants to, start following everyone every critic who is challenging him in social media, is there anyone who will be safe? Then you have to go to all the mainstream media, you have to go to the social media, then you will kill everyone, or you will charge everyone. Let us look at the root cause of the criticism. Kenyans voted for William Ruto. Now, ironically, those who voted for him are the ones who are rebelling. From Mount Kenya to the church to the hustlers, there must be a problem. He has hoodwinked them, he has cheated them, he keeps on promising, and this is why people are even wishing, like that person I think is wishing that he's dead. And I mean, is it wrong? He's human like any other person. What is the difference between him and any other person if people are so tired of him? I can calculate 1, 2, 3 things. Very soon, there is going to be a law regulating the use of social media. They will say that before you criticize, before you publish, you must go to the police station and present to them whether that is the right thing. We cannot allow this. Let us have people criticizing our leaders. But one thing I must say though, the only thing that I don't agree with is any insult. You don't insult any leader. But as long as you're saying the truth, Kenyans must be allowed to criticize. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to backfire, because now a whole president is being invited to stand and be cross-examined. Let us not stoop this low to start following such simple matters. We have corruption cases and things that we can prosecute. And I don't know what you think, but this is a misplaced priority as always. No wonder the economy cannot grow, because we do not know where to channel our energy. That office should even be scrapped off. How is it helping Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen?